Hey guys, I'm out in the Dragonwood today looking for monsters to kill. I think there might be a dragon here now. Let's go back in and check out the game. The Dragonwood deck is going to come with three types of cards. You're going to have the creatures that you collect or hunt down. It's going to come with events, which are these orange cards, and these purple cards are going to be magical enchantments, and you'll be able to hunt these down in the Dragonwood. Also, not to mention, there's going to be 2 dragons, which also help signify the end of the game. The adventure deck comes with 5 different suits, kind of a red, purple, blue, green, and orange, and they're numbered from 1 to 12. You'll use these cards in the attempt to take down the creatures in the landscape deck, which are the monsters, enchantments, and monsters, enchantments that you had saw earlier. This also comes with 4 lucky ladybugs, and those are all shuffled up and put back into the deck. And then we have the dice. The dice are on each die. There's 1 1, 2 2s, 2 3s, and 1 4, as I represented here on each die face. These are, after you attack with the adventure cards, you're going to use these to slay the monsters in the Dragonwood. All right, now you're going to shuffle up both decks thoroughly. Still got it. You're going to drop the landscape deck out, the Dragonwood, if you will, and then you're going to bring out 5 cards. Let me make sure I can get all these guys on the camera here for you. And then in your adventure deck, depending on how many players there are, you're going to remove some cards. But if you're like me, even if you're playing with 2 players, I like to leave all the cards in there because it adds to a longer game. But you know, you choose which variant you'd like to play with. And then each player gets 5 cards apiece. What you're going to do on your turn is look at your hand, and you're going to make one of the 3 things based upon the creature. Each creature or enchantment will have an ability on it. It'll say this is how many victory points it's worth. This is just a nice little fun artwork picture, and this is a gooey glob. But if you're going to strike at it, you're going to have to roll a 14. If you're going to kick at it, or stomp on it, you'll have to roll a 9. And if you're going to scream at it, you'll have to get a 10 or higher. And you determine that by using the dice. So in your hand, if you want to, let's say you have, you can use just 1 die if you want, but let's say you have 3 of the same color. Well, you can play that. 3 of the same color shows you that you're going to scream at it, which is the bottom one listed here on your reminder card. What do I have to do to beat this? Well, I have to scream at it with what I'm going to do, and I need a 10 or higher. So I used 3 cards to scream at it, so I roll 3 dice. And then I will roll them. And I had a bad roll. So I rolled a 3, a 1, and a 1, which is 5. And now that means I get to take my cards back to my hand, but I have to discard a card from my hand. That's the penalty. If I rolled that or higher, I would collect that card to my victory area. Now, if you collect an enchantment, it will have special abilities here. Like this says, add 2 points to any strike. So when you're striking, which is numbers in a row, so let's say I have and they don't have to be the same color. They could be like, I'm going to have an 8 from that set and a 9 from that set. Let's say I just had those 2 that were consecutive. So I could play these 2, and I'm going to strike, which means I play 2 cards. I get to roll 2 dice. And then if I rolled a 10 or higher, I'd be able to take this card. Now, the highest number I have is a 4 right now, so I couldn't capture this. But if I already had this enchantment, I could attempt to get a creature by getting a 10, because this adds 2 to any strike I perform. But you can't use enchantments to capture other enchantments. That is one rule, but you can catch creatures in the Dragonwood that way. The third way is by stomping, which means you just have all of the same number. So let's say I had these 2 10s in my hand. Now you can save up to try to get as much as you want. So if I had up to 6, so if I play 6 cards, if I play, 5 10s, I think 5 or 6 10s, then I would be able to roll that many dice. So, but if I just present 1 or 2, that's how many dice I will roll to attempt to stomp on it. And then you continue up until basically the second dragon is revealed, which I shuffled them up, so I'm not where they're there, but you've seen them. There's an orange and a blue one. They look really cool, but you put them in the bottom half of the deck. I may not have said that earlier, but you know me, I like to talk in circles, so that's fun. So maybe not for the listeners, but for me. So anyway, when you come across the second dragon and it is defeated, the game ends. And add up all your victory points, and whoever has the most victory points is the winner. Okay, so that's Dragonwood for 2 to 4 players by Game Right. It's a very light, fun game. It's a good way to introduce people into adventuring. Maybe if it's like D&D or one of the Wrath of Asherlon or something's too hard for them. But if you want a light, friendly, fun family game that it's easy to collect suits and have these fun-looking creatures, then Dragonwood's a really good game. A couple of notes I want to make at the end is actually during your gameplay, you have 2 choices that I forgot to mention earlier, which is you either have to reload, which is basically draw a card, or if you're not reloading, then you're attempting to capture a creature. And that's basically it. That's Dragonwood. Nice and simple. All right, thank you so much for watching the Dice Matrix. If you liked any of my videos, I appreciate it if you'd subscribe to me or like the video. If you have any comments, put it down below. Tell me what your friendly games are. I'd love to hear from you. Seriously, if you have any recommendations, just let me know. We'll see you next time. Keep the dice rolling.